Hello, I'm the real-life fake wizard. Today we are going to discuss $80 video games, which is part of an ongoing video series I've been doing here. Yesterday was the Xbox Showcase, where they announced a whole bunch of upcoming games. The Outer Worlds 2 is one of those games. The Outer Worlds series is an Obsidian-produced title that discusses themes of capitalism and socialism and Marxism and a bunch of other isms, all through the lens of millennial actually writing. I bought the Outer Worlds 1 on day one because it was marketed as a Fallout game in space, but I didn't get more than like 4 hours in. I was just bored. Anyway, now we're getting the Outer Worlds 2 coming this year, a game with the whole premise of challenging the ideals of capitalism. Published and marketed by one of the largest tech companies on the planet. And it costs $80. This is a joke, right? I'm going to say that again. The whole premise of this game is ripping on capitalism. It's published by one of the largest companies in all of history on the planet, and it costs $80, making it the first Xbox title to break that $80 threshold. And so here we are, folks. Games are going to be $80, starting with two ridiculous entries: Mario Kart World and The Outer Worlds 2. You know, this means that Call of Duty is now $80. This means Gears E-Day will be $80. This means Animal Crossing will likely be $80. And if we're really going to use the variable pricing strategy as outlined by Nintendo of America CEO Doug Bowser, $80 is not the ceiling. Xbox's Fable was announced in 2020. It is now the middle of 2025, and in the Xbox Showcase, which just ended, there was no mention of Fable. The current expectation is that Fable releases in Q4 of 2026. That puts this game at a 6-year window from announcement to release, give or take the additional 2 to 3 years development before the original announcement took place. With Fable having a floating variable of 7 to 8 years of development, developed by a company that pisses money away because it has the money to piss away, who is stopping Xbox from putting it out for $99? Elder Scrolls 6 has been in development for a long time. That's a big name brand. Who is stopping Bethesda from saying this game costs $124.99, huh? Grand Theft Auto 6 is on the way. Just charge $200. Go ahead. Grandma might be concerned when she sees a credit card charge for $953 because you bought GTA 6 Collector's Edition, but hey, that's just what games cost now, right? Gaming is $80 now. That's just the world we live in. Stop complaining. What are you, poor? Those companies need our money. Making games is expensive. I don't care that Mario Kart World costs $80. I enjoy it. I enjoy playing games. I don't care what it costs. Oh, games are more expensive now, huh? I'm sure it's just inflation or something else. It's not my problem. At what point do you care? At what point do you become activated? I understand consuming and being a consumer is fun. There's a freedom in there, a distraction from the harsh realities of the real world, and sure, maybe you've got the money to pay through the nose for games and consoles. Good for you, congratulations. Personally, I do too, but I don't think that the games being made today at the sky-high production budgets they're at deserve $80 purchase price. These games are hollow. Now look, I've covered this in previous videos before, but let's talk about the timeline here. All the video game companies want to raise prices. They're not giving you more for your money. In fact, it's quite debatable that they're selling you less and less with each release. DLC is coming right around the corner for all those $80 games. And there's evidence of on-disc DLC being included on things like Nintendo's releases again. What that means is that you buy a game for $70 or $80, and inside of that purchase is content that is paywalled, requiring additional purchases to unlock it. Okay, so all the companies want to raise prices, but it's a matter of how and when. And to the timeline here, Nintendo puts out the Switch 2 and jacks up Mario Kart World to be the first $80 game of this generation. And because it's Mario Kart and Nintendo, there are millions of loyal consumers who are going to slurp up this $80 game without questioning the fact that this is all part of a gambit to raise all games to $80. I got a lot of complaints on my last video for being less than kind to these customers who bought the Switch 2 and spent $80 on Mario Kart. I'm not sorry. The warnings were there. People say, oh, the market determines the price. Yes, you do. And by buying Mario Kart World, whether it be the bundle or not, doesn't matter, you've legitimized that the market is ready for $80 games. Games are not worth $80. But that brings us back to Xbox here. The Outer Worlds 2 is going to be $80. But the reality is, Xbox doesn't care if you buy it at $80. There is so much going on here. Like, the intricacies of the strategies that these companies are using is like, damn it, man. Wake up. Xbox doesn't care if you buy $80 games or not. They care about the Game Pass. See, Xbox has lost the console war, but gaming is a quasi-billion-dollar industry. Many billion-dollar industry, okay? There are billions to be made in gaming. There's also that user data, too. Ooh, the sweet, sweet user data. So Xbox's strategy has been in taking small losses on selling consoles, just to get consoles in hands. They make their software available on as many PCs and handhelds as they can, even now announcing their own. But they will make their money on the games. Specifically, they want to maximize the amount of Game Pass subscribers they can get. Game Pass, as of right now, is about $20 a month. I don't know if it's higher or lower in other parts of the world, but in the United States, $20. They keep the analytics on Game Pass locked up tight, so we don't actually know current day subscriber metrics. But if Game Pass has existed for all this time, and their entire business model is further solidifying Game Pass, it's not like Game Pass is going away anytime soon. And so, what is the best way to get more customers to subscribe to Game Pass? Step 1, acquire the companies making the games. That's almost complete. Xbox has a debatable monopoly on game developers right now. And of course, that's an exaggeration, but look it up. There are 23 studios publicly noted for Xbox Game Studios, but also keep in mind that sometimes there are studios inside of those studios. It's studioception. Or, like we saw with the Oblivion remaster, a studio owned by Xbox could outsource their game development to other studios, and all that work comes back to the ownership of King Xbox. Step 1 is really to acquire all the games. Step 2, get all the customers to subscribe to a monthly subscription service to deliver said games. We've been in Step 2 for a while, and there are likely hundreds of thousands of people who've had Game Pass subscriptions billing for routinely every month for the last 3 years. But there are lots of people who subscribe to Game Pass and then cancel after they've played the 1 or 2 games that they wanted to play. How do we get those people to stay subscribed forever? How do we compete with Steam better? How do we make purchasing a PlayStation 5 seem like a foolish idea? Well, we've got all the games, and if you're subscribed, you don't have to pay per game. But maybe that's not enough. Ooh, Nintendo over there is going to raise prices to $80. If we raise all of our games to $80, people are going to hate that. They're going to hate it. Is anyone unironically going to pay $80 for the Outer Worlds 2? If they have any self-respect, probably not. No. They'll sign up for Game Pass then. If Xbox's game prices increase, it will incentivize long-term subscriptions to Game Pass. And I'm not saying that that's going to work, but that's the strategy they're playing. And if Game Pass continues to grow, and let's say it succeeds, and you're all reliant on being subscribed to Game Pass, what's stopping them from raising the price? See, like, that's it, man. That's the whole thing here. What's stopping any of them? The title of this video is How to Fight $80 Video Games, and the answer to that, which I guess has become the whole point of my channel, stop buying things from companies that are taking advantage of you. Stop buying things from companies that are manipulating the marketplace. You know what? Stop buying video games if need be. Stop buying them. I want a Switch 2. I like Nintendo games. I may rip on them, but I like them. I love Fire Emblem and Pokemon. I would love to play them on the Switch 2. I'd love to play the Switch 1 games on the Switch 2. And I've been blessed enough to have the disposable income to spend money on these things. But they're not good for me. They're not good for you. The relationship between company and buyer is unhealthy right now. See, the marketplace determines the price, yes, but the prices are not fair to what you're actually getting. The prices just went up to $70 less than 5 years ago. Now, because the Switch 2 launched games that use 2018 tech specs, we all need to pay $10 more for every game? I already don't believe games are delivering $60 experiences anymore, let alone $70 games. Holy crap, you want $80 for a millennial capitalism is bad simulator? Are you insane? No, they're not insane. They're greedy. And they know that there are loyal consumers, not even customers, consumers, who are going to buy everything, subscribe to everything, because they have no willpower. Now, I got almost 5,000 comments on my last video saying you don't need to buy the Switch 2. Countless people admitted to not having the willpower to stop. What? Like, what? What are you talking about? What do you mean you don't have the willpower to stop? Buying $500 consoles and $80 games, you don't have the power to stop that? What are we doing, fentanyl? Are we so addicted that you can't look Wario in the eye and say, no, not today, before you drop your pants and bend over? He's got his Joy-Con ready. Nah, Wizard, you're getting a little extreme there. Why are you complaining about Game Pass again? You mean I can play all these games for just a measly $20? That sounds like a bargain to me. A bargain, maybe, but at what cost? On Game Pass, you don't own your games anymore. You're beholden to the terms of service that Xbox retains, which can be updated to not have your best interests at heart at any time. They could just delete your account at any time. You guys know that, right? You lose access to physical media, so more games can become lost media. You sacrifice your voice in what types of games get made and what types of games are then pushed on to everyone. Because at that point, when you take ownership and purchase power away, these companies can produce, market, and shove whatever they want down your throat. Your options are all gone away. Why? Because you buying a game doesn't quantify its success anymore. Just wait, folks. Just wait. We are a few years away from games becoming Game Pass exclusive, meaning you won't be able to spend $80 to buy the game. Like right now, exclusivity feels like it's fading away, but they would bring it back if they knew it was going to make money. And believe me, if given the actual chance, Game Pass could have exclusive titles on it, but they can only do that if their subscriber numbers were large enough. So here we find ourselves. Game prices are soaring. Console prices are soaring. People are still buying them in droves, and it looks like the madness isn't going to stop. I'm not here to make predictions like the Switch 2 is going to fail. No, that's stupid. I want you to walk away from this video having processed or begin to process this idea that the entertainment companies, the entertainment corporations are not your friends, but secondly, they're trying to take advantage of you. They're taking advantage of the marketplace relationship by inflating their prices while delivering diminishing experiences. It's not inflation. Expedition 33 was an indie title for $50, and it was outstanding. Outer Worlds 2 is like, I just got out of university Borderlands. I hate my capitalism. The irony there is like, if you really hate capitalism, which is okay, you might hate capitalism, you could live out being the main character of that game by not playing the game. Like, if you really hate capitalism and you're a Marxist or whatever you are, that's fine. I can't take you seriously if you're buying this game, especially at $80, from one of the largest tech giants of all time. Like, it's Microsoft. At that point, you have to admit you're a hypocrite. The market determines the price. That's true. You are the market. You determine the price. If companies sell games for $80 and the games aren't worth $80, do not buy them. Don't support these companies, even if it's just you. Like, that's it. That's the reality. There doesn't need to be a movement with hashtags and protests and we march on Microsoft HQ. We don't need a union strike. You yourself need to take a stand for something. Alone, even. If you agree with me, and there are hundreds of talking points I couldn't fit in this video, but if you agree with them, as I've shown in other videos, Take a stand. Stand up. For you. Sleep better at night. If you believe in something, even when it's hard, you fight for it. You fight for your integrity. When you do something wrong, and you know it's wrong, don't you feel a little hollow? Like you feel a little uneasy about it? That's your integrity speaking. But integrity is like a muscle. You can train it. You can get better with it. Some days are good, some aren't, but each day you can actively choose to pursue believing more in yourself. You could start off by standing up for what you believe in. You, yourself. Doesn't matter what other people think. Doesn't matter what other people say. But maybe, you see all the points that I make and I bring up, and maybe you don't really care. You're dedicated to playing games. Play them all, fine, okay. If you care more about comfort than meaning in your life, cool. Own it. Admit it. And that's not me saying admit it, loser, or anything condescending like that. I'm asking you to have self-awareness. If you were to look at everything happening and you recognized that there are bad things and then you contribute to the growth of those bad things, but you feel comfortable in your contributions, take pride in your choices. Own it. Don't dance around. Don't play defense for multi-billion-dollar corporations. Nintendo is the 8th largest company in Japan. Microsoft is the holy shit. The largest company? Is it the largest company in America? In the world? Donnie, can we get an update on this? Can we get a fact check? Fact check this, please. Microsoft, largest company in the world right now? It is. It is. Okay. $3 trillion market cap, huh? Game Pass is not a steal here. It's not a deal. It's a long-winded, long-term strategy that ends with you no longer owning games, but Microsoft owns you. But if you're okay participating in this system, God bless you. But you should own it and do it with pride. And if you're not okay with this, and you agree that this free market is not balanced right now, perhaps it never was, it's not a fair game, then the only solution you have is to stop playing. It's their table. It's time to take your chips, cash in, and go home. Leave everyone else to keep gambling with their engagement rings. Just remember, you probably got work in the morning anyway. This is a tough issue. Lots of high emotions, but it's very important. I think it's the most important thing we could be talking about right now as far as entertainment is concerned. Until next time, create, innovate, inspire others to do so as well. Stop buying, and for the love of God, cancel Disney+. Goodbye.